Okay, there we go. Fantastic. No! Brilliant! Turns out I uploaded a summary with this bloody background image on and forgot. That's what happens when I start recording and minimize it. So that's brilliant. That's brilliant. I like wasting 18 minutes of my life. Fuck's sake. I did 80. God damn it. Okay. How you guys doing? We've got Carl, we've got Alexander and Anno. And Brian. How you doing there, Brian? See, the funny thing is people are going to see this in future and not have a bloody clue what I was talking about there. Essentially, I uploaded a video and had this background image on and forgot. Hey there, Julian. Good to have you, my friend. And hello there, you are. Good to see you, my friend, as well. Ah, love it. Love it when we waste time. There we go. We're going to get right into this in just a momento. How you doing there, Star, my good friend? Okay. Go ahead and get the game launched. And we'll go from there. How are you guys doing today? You know, I did wonder why I had a comment from Man saying, great video. I'm like, that's a bit sassy. Rightio. Well, yeah, well now, we are moving towards, Midway. I almost said Wake there. But we are moving towards Midway, so it's going to be an interesting one. Let's see what the shelter in place. Okay, that's an interesting one. Would No, I might pop into the chat later on. Depends really on how much actually goes on here, really. It would be nice. It would be nice to see some more. Yeah, I haven't got the screensaver on. How you doing there, man? Yeah, great video, wasn't it? Amazing when I forget that the wallpaper was on. Fuck's sake. Oh, Christ, this is why I need like someone to do the editing or something like that, so they could like say, you fucked up. Okay, moving on then. So we take a little base there, a little dot base on the island of New Britain. That is always handy. I think the island, I think the base to the north is actually on the island of New Island. I believe that's the name of it there. New Britain and New Island, I'm sure. So, yeah, as we're saying, I don't know what we're going to see then towards Midway. We are sending the combined fleet suddenly out that way just as a last effort, really. I don't expect to pick up on one of be it a cruiser force or be it a battleship force. I don't expect to pick up on it. So it looks as though I don't know, he's only got cold feet, which is a shame. Alright, bombard him once again at Ambon. Heika, doing a good job. Yep. I mean, the interesting thing is we did see the submarine south of Perth. Was it the last turn of a turn before? I think it might have been the turn before, but we saw a submarine to the south actually with, I think it was 10 out of 10 detection, which is something you really don't get unless you've got a lot of naval search going on there. So, we have been thinking for a while as to where the USN carriers might be. They may be headed to Perth. It might be the British carriers there, but I find it weird. It could be something heading around Perth to head towards, I don't know, like Melbourne, or it could be something from Melbourne heading towards Perth. Somewhat hard to gauge, really, the direction, as we didn't really see anything. We were detected, but we didn't see anything. We didn't really have a report to work with, which is a shame. We'll speed this up. Yamashiro opening up as well. I mean, Kishino's been doing a fantastic job. But there we go, so that's another 304 casualties inflicted. 5 there, 19, 5. A few guns destroyed as well, that's pretty nice there. Yeah, they're doing a great job. You can see the moonlight is increasing as well, which is making these bombardments more and more impressive here, really. But that's good. We might be able to get another few bombardments off if we're lucky. I think we'll probably look towards bringing the BBs back sooner or later, really, from the Dutch East Indies. Try to figure out where we want to redeploy them, really. Wouldn't it be a bad idea to potentially either have them go to bombard one car or potentially... Well, then again, at one car's got the heavy cruisers after all, so probably not required. It would be nice, but maybe a little bit superfluous. So potentially move them to link up with the MKB, really. Wouldn't be a bad idea. It would give us some nice... well, just some big old punching bags there, really, for enemy air power. Okay. So it looks to be continuing to move from, is it Shangtan? Yep, Shangtan. Still see the force over here. We should be able to evacuate the remaining part of the paratrooper unit over here as well. That's good. Alright, still moving over here as far as we can see. Okay. It is going to be interesting to see what happens over here. I imagine he's moving to Xiaoyang. There we go, that's very nice. So 472 casualties, 4 squads disabled, 12 non-combatants destroyed, 52 disabled, 1 engineer destroyed, 8 are disabled. And that's the kind of numbers we want to see there. So you can see a few fires have been lit there. Manpower's taken ahead. Essentially, we are reducing the city slowly but surely. It's not massive losses, but it's good to see that they are increasing. That's all we like to see there, really. I wonder if we'll move into the day phase in just a moment. We're unloading over here at Bima. So that is the APDs, I do believe, from Makassar that I've sent out here to take those bases. And over here as well. Essentially trying to speed up the process, take these islands as quickly as possible. APDs are really good at that sort of job, as they can move very quickly. They can kind of look after themselves to an extent as well, which is always very handy. There we go. Further landings. Excellent. Still a lot more islands to be taken. Got to speed things up, really. And into the day phase. Right, few assets being lost there, that's unfortunate. Oh, yeah. Unloading over here. Okay. Huh. Well, that's nice. It's not terribly often that we see really much in the way of submarine action lately, but it's nice to see that we actually have a submarine using her shells. That's really great. Oh, well done. I wonder what else we might see in this actual little task force there. It looks like there might be multiple. But yeah, that's rather interesting, the fact that he sent this without an escort. He's going to regret that, it seems. Yeah. I don't think she's going to come out of this, is she? Very nice. I could watch this all day. See, this is where the deck guns are just really, really nasty. Using those 13.2s. It'd be nice if you could say, look, don't bother with the 13.2s, just use the actual 100mm gun. You know, that things that actually will do a lot of damage. And the 13.2s could do some decent stuff. But yeah. Okay, low on gun ammo. There we go. So that's 15 shells into her. Heavy fires, heavy damage. She's not going to make it out of that, is she? Unlikely, anyhow. Stream lag. I'm not too sure about that. It should be fine. And G4M's aside, and obviously ships at Port Moresby. Okay. Right, Allied ships near Wallace Island. Yeah, so it looks like there are submarines near Midway. Ideally, they don't give us away. I do think we might have been... Oh, okay, so we've seen a few AP. AP, you say? That's interesting. Right. Moving on to the airstrikes. Lots of bad weather. Okay, strike going ahead. Unopposed. Additional zeros. I can probably give them a chance to rest and shortly. I'd like to get them moving out. But it looks like he's moving additional assets towards Wallace Island, which is really intriguing. But we did see APs. We see him moving assets around, so that's quite interesting. We may have to send... it depends really what occurs in the next few turns. But I think the combined fleet will head south. And we might go with the original mission. Though that may change, to be honest. Okay, so 89 casualties inflicted over here. 1 squad destroyed, 4, 18. That's quite nicely 18 there. It's not bad at all, really. But that is going to slow them down yet further, which is great news. Right, ABD Yukazi, followed by Allied floatplane near Bima. That's not too surprising. It'll be interesting if we see any PBYs attacking once again this turn. Okay, that would be the ship that we... yeah, well, that would quite heavily shelled then going down, I imagine. Right, so there's a Clemson supposedly over here. Allied APD reported. If that's a Clemson, that's quite nice. So it's been reportedly hit. Maybe it says sight in ships. Yeah, there's definitely a submarine over there. That's more than likely going to give away the position to the combined fleet. But we'll pull them out. I was really hoping that we might have been able to detect something, but I guess not. Yeah. Okay, I suppose that's going to give him something of a fright. If only he had not gotten cold feet. But what we'll do then is we'll pull the combined fleet south. It may actually trigger some interesting moves by himself elsewhere, really, if he believes that the entire Kitabatai is near Midway. Okay, speed that up. A few damaged over there. Yeah, I know. It's unfortunate, but it seems that our subs are around there. I had a feeling that there were subs around there, to be honest. Yeah, ship's there by Wallace Island. Yeah, what do you mean audio? Is everything coming through okay? Okay, sub escapes detection. Oh, that's not good there. Fuso's apparently suffering some flooding. That's actually rather surprising, to be honest. We'll have to go ahead and check out that damage there. It might be that Fuso has to head back to port. Ideally, it's not much in the way of damage. Oh, flooding, I should say. Okay, the 100th has been reduced there to 312. Yeah. Oh, no, I know what you mean, sorry. I thought you meant that the audio of the actual stream wasn't good. Okay. We are getting closer and closer to the point at which we can actually assault the city over here. But it's just going to take consistent bombardment to get to that point, really. It's not terribly far away. But it is drawing closer. Especially with the bombardments becoming more and more, well, effective would be the word there, really. Right. I mean, that's becoming increasingly evident, really. Okay. So no losses incurred. Nor suffered. Right, so we have the bombardment over here again. And the interesting thing is going to be, will he attack over here at Bataan? To be honest, if he attacks over here at Bataan, we might get blooded, but it's going to cost him. It's just costing him time that he could have spent just hold up there, really. Okay, we'll speed this one up. Right, okay. Again, no losses actually suffered or inflicted over here. But again, that is actually them using supply that they don't really have. So going for a deliberate attack over here. Ideally, this force is forced to surrender. I'm quite shocked that it hasn't already. There we go. At long bloody last, they surrender. There we go. And there we go. So that is one problem removed. Fantastic. So, that's 905 allied troops that marched into captivity there. Very nice. 9, 69, 1, 10. That's good. So we can actually have that division detachment made ready to move elsewhere. So we're going to take the base over here as well. That's another one for us. Yep, sub over here as well. It's well worth it. And then we'll move into Makassar, get those supplies in there. That's a nice little Banzai. Okay. So, pretty quiet turn resolution there, to be honest. Pretty quiet. Shame about the combined fleet, but it was a risk there. It'll be interesting to see if we see any BBs in that area or CAs. Likely not, but what we'll do is obviously pull the CF away from the area. If anything, it will give him quite a shock there, as he'll realise just how close he came to utter disaster. It does make me wonder how he became aware of the situation. If indeed he ever was, it might have just been a bit of like, I don't know. He might have just backed down at the last moment, really. Maybe a little bit scared. Hard to say sometimes. And there we go, the fleet carrier Yunyo has finally arrived here. Well, that's it. I suppose in some ways, a assault in the south is actually going to be preferable for us. Might draw him into action. Yes, there's detection over here. So, And we see nothing. So it's a shame, really. I suppose in hindsight, obviously it wasn't great, but there was every chance that he might have been here. But what we'll do then is I'm going to have the combined fleet head. Well, the thing is, he's aware of it now, so there's nothing to be gained there. It's a shame. Yeah, it seems to be detected by potential submarines, or I'm going to say potentially submarines or something of that nature. Ah, well. What we'll do then is we'll head directly away. He's not aware of Shoho at least, so that's something to work with. We may have to rethink this plan. It's a shame that they've been detected, but we do see assets down to the south. It may be worthwhile to potentially push there. But if indeed he actually does break out into the Coral Sea, or break out into the Indian Ocean, or into the Small Sea in this area as well, be intriguing. Well, we'll think about that one there, Carl. It's one of these of, unfortunately, we have been detected, so that does change things. Not dramatically. I mean, we do have good reason to suspect that maybe half or potentially more of his carrier forces are even in the south of Melbourne or elsewhere. It may be that we use this time to actually become more aggressive. And we see ships over there, we see ships over here. It looks like he's obviously being active in this area, but we'll consider what to do there. It's a bit of a setback. Yeah, I don't know. It's a shame, really, because it's one of these of how did he ever know? Will he ever realise just how close he came to disaster there? Probably so next turn then. But hey, it's something of a threat if anything. But he may suspect that this is the actual complete Kitabatai. He's got 5 out of 5 not complete, so he may suspect there's other assets, other carriers in here potentially. But we'll see. What I'll do then is have them head back to Quanjalain for the time being. I want to try and head away, really. Potentially towards Wake. We'll have them head in a direction towards Wake, and then again, is it even worthwhile doing that? They're heading somewhere in that direction anyway. What we can do then is I could potentially refuel from the oiler over here, and then head south. But heading south is probably the preferable option, to be honest. Let's see, yeah, some of those DTs are getting a little bit low there. It's a bloody shame. Yeah. I'm trying to remember where I have the oilers in this. I think the fuel's out there, and obviously the fuel's down to the south. It may be just worthwhile just to head immediately south, then, to be honest. If I was to head towards, let's say, Baker Island. Well, I obviously could manage that. We want to obviously route around Johnston. That's something to bear in mind. So I think what we'll do then is we'll head towards Quanjalain. Right, so that would put me potentially within detection range. So I'd like to go a little bit further out there. There we go. So that would put me... Yeah, that puts me outside his range. I'll go for that then. And the question is, do we actually bring the oilers to link up with the Kitabatai? Sorry, I always keep calling them bloody Kitabatai. We could bring them to actually link with the combined fleet. It might be worthwhile to do so. Have them head for Quanjalain. I think I'll have Shoho folded into the MKB even, really. It does change a lot of things. It does change quite a lot, to be honest. I could potentially... well, actually, saying this, there's a lot of protection in this area. I could have them head south there. Question is it worthwhile having these guys over here? I could have them actually head south. It may be worthwhile to move the AS in towards Midway, but I'm not feeling it's terribly worthwhile at this moment in time. I think what I'll do here then is actually take the oilers south as well. So I'll have them head towards Truck, I reckon. Yeah, and I can't see a way to really salvage this. It's one of those that we could potentially do this down here. There's still a chance that we could slip through, really. Once we lose detection, he may I don't know, it's one of those of would he suspect it? I imagine for now he's probably gonna... I don't know, will he panic though? It's in the north, it'd be interesting. Valdionio into CF, Salty MKB towards west coast, and put combined fleet into truck. We need... Right, okay, Salty MKB towards west coast. Alright. Well, that's it. That's what we're discussing there. So what you're suggesting there, Infinite, is have MKB head towards the US coastline there. Which is, it's not a terrible idea. Yeah, I can get behind having CF head towards truck. South, okay. Well, the thing is, it doesn't particularly matter that much about the speed if we're just using a cruise. Yeah, I know. I just you confused me by saying towards the west coast. I was thinking of the US, to be honest. Obviously, it's the east, isn't it? I'm used to thinking it was the west. Maybe just say Australia next time. Alright, we'll head that way then. Alright, okay. Well, I mean, this is it. He has suggested that, well, he's shown us that there are ships out that area. He's up to things in that area. What would be the worst case scenario of 80? I'll just add that to something else other than support. Set it to escort, it'll be fine. We'll definitely have plenty of fuel to support an operation, which is always quite nice. I mean, this is it. It seems, actually speaking of detection... So there's no detection over here. Detection over here. So he's running flights out from over here at Broome, I'd imagine, or potentially one of these other bases, maybe even Darwin. Okay, then unloading. So we can cancel that anyhow. Oh, they're loading, sorry, I should say. Thought that said unloading. Okay, so we have this base to take over here, so tell them to stop unloading. We'll take this base and move on to another. Same with these guys over here. Won't take long. They can more or less look after themselves to a good extent as well, which is quite nice. So tell them to do the same. Okay, sub over there. Yeah, that flotation damage with Fuso. That's interesting. Yeah, well, this is it. I don't think it's going to be in the Coral Sea. Well, I don't know. Will it be the Coral Sea? That's the question. It's hard to say whether it's going to be Coral Sea. At least in the Coral Sea we'd have an idea. But I think, yeah, I think we move the cows towards the Islander truck. Potentially sorting out the MKB's not a bad idea. And potentially just to have them really mobile is not a bad idea, really, at that. So we do have a decent whacking bit of damage there. She's not visibly damaged, so we can still use her without really giving him some blood in the water there. It is something of a worry, though, to take into consideration. Has lowered her speed, actually. 12. It may be worthwhile having Fuso head home, to be honest. We'd obviously have to have her return to Japan, really. Which is a shame. I mean, the issue is... I mean, we could potentially run one bombardment and then head back. It depends, really. We are fully rearmed. She doesn't have to go too far. It's just a little bit worrying with the submarines over here. Right, you're moving 65th in there. We do need supplies over here pretty drastically, to be honest. Right, so he's actually using naval search, which is pretty amazing. It's been a long while since we've actually seen him really use that, to be honest. So that's nice. Right, we finally reached our destination over here, so we can attack the base. It's quite a bit of fatigue on those troops, but it shouldn't take them long to be able to manage that. We'll get a sense of how strong the actual force is there anyhow. I don't imagine very, to be honest. Yeah, shame. Shame in regards to CF. No, I mean, this is it'd be intriguing. It probably is likely that he will do something. If he feels that that is the combined fleet, sorry, that is the Gita Butai, then he may feel that he's got some something to work with. It should be likely. I don't think there's overly that much to do in the turn, to be honest. We might be able to get this done in a single session. I don't think there's really... No, I don't think there's terribly much taken into consideration. We are looking to assemble aircraft, obviously, in this area, so namely fighters. So as far as it goes, we have these guys over here, the 43s. So, they're about 4 days out there. Yes, the MKB is at track. You are correct there, my friend. We do have it on Gunyor. Should probably mispronouncing. Our first new fleet carrier. And she's over here at Nagasaki. And there's a lot of PBs that I do need to actually organise. What I'm going to do then is actually have them split up and sent out, namely towards Hokkaido, it seems. Though a few down here would be quite nice. I'd like to set this up as a PB base. Either Torishima or Agashima would be nice. I'll have them head to Agashima. Aogashima, how you pronounce that? Have them head out that way. We'll get some more heading towards the north. It would be worthwhile to potentially have some to where the oil centers are as well. Try and protect against submarines up in that area. We do have a lot of ASW over there. Would be preferable to have potentially some near Ominato as well. The issue is he doesn't really change his actual patrol patterns. It just doesn't seem to like to do that. And that's still a lot of ships there. Right, have these head towards Ominato. Now, I don't think his submarines campaign is that effective, so I'm going to take some patrol boats to head down this way. I do want to actually be able to patrol these waters around here against submarines. We're not too far out from being able to actually control the area, to be honest. How many do we have here? 12. Right, we'll have the head the rest down here. That's fine. Right, get them headed down that way. We will have more around here as well, so we'll get additional ones sent down that way. I think the number that we have now for Japan is more than sufficient. I tend to use you for escorts, don't I? Right, so engineers on the way to Gazmata. They're just finishing loading up. Why is that pending? Might be pending due to that. They do have the range. That's green. See, with the fact that they have their home port set down there, If their home port was still at Nagasaki, then they wouldn't have the range. But with that there, they do have the range. Okay, we'll go with that then. I really don't think it's going to take as long to wrap this up, to be honest. A couple of Shimaneski. I'm just looking for any, like, major areas where there's a lot. Kobe. Right, I'll get these shifted out, depending on their endurance, that is. Right, they can't make it with that endurance. That could be refueled. But I'd like to keep a couple around here. So I'll have them around Yokohama, Yokosuka. We'll have to review this fully, but the issue is he doesn't really change his submarine patrol pattern, so it's a question of, is it actually even worth patrolling some areas? Of course, it's always worth it, but you know what I mean. We'll manage. I mean, the thing is, we're not struggling to manage here. I don't know. It's just, there's so many different ways he could be using these submarines. It's just, I don't know. Just so much you could do with them. And the difference between this campaign and the other campaign is markedly, well, it's just markedly different when you just take into consideration the bloody amount of stuff that we have here. Got the wrong port. And just in terms of organisation, we're really trying to deal with the actual inertia from the early turns, really. It takes a long time. To be honest, I could have them move out with PBs. We've got some longer range ones in there, so I might use them just to transfer a little bit of fuel. But with 2100, they should actually be able to manage that. Ah, right, that's fine. Right. Okay, does anybody have any suggestions for what may be required? I don't think we really have much to worry about. The sub-chasers will be able to get down there. Use a bit of fuel from the Soyuz and then move the Soyuz out the day after, if necessary. He didn't deign to attack us over here, nor bombard, which is intriguing. I think the big one is going to be seeing what happens in China. Right, they can continue to move over here. I take a look. Pressing W. Yep, there we go. I do have the force over here at Naval. The reason is I'm going to pick up the actual base force over here. It isn't great to do this, but the reason why I'm doing this is to increase the amount of aviation support down here in the south. I do feel like it is pretty critical to try and get the amount of aviation here. If we do suspect that there is potentially enemy carriers coming, then we need to increase it pretty dramatically. Now, I do have a air headquarters down here at Makassar. The other is over here at Kopang. I need to try and strengthen this area as much as humanly possible, to be honest. Potentially have them make it down that way, but that is pretty risky. Safer would be this way around, which might be worthwhile. We should be able to manage that. But I feel we'll do need to get more aviation down there. So those aircraft will be transferred over to the island of Celebes soon, or potentially even Kopang. I think it's one of these of... Kopang has enough supply. The issue is she doesn't really have engineers. She's got aviation support, but not a huge amount. We could still use the bases out here. It would have been nice if, well, it would have been preferable to have had more aviation. But we are really dealing with that. We are struggling with that at the moment. Trying to get it there now. It's a little bit too late, to be honest. So they're moving with the 65th. It's not really worthwhile doing that. I can just bring an APD to do that. I do have the Kamo, whatever the hell it's called. Okay, I'll let it continue then do that. It's a little bit wasteful, but at least it gets the job done there. Right, tell you to unload. Take that base. At least that takes 2 bases there. Okay, they're moving in. Low on fuel, but we can have them load up again. Right, they're moving in 65th. I would like to finish up the actual situation at Ambon. It may be worthwhile to bombard once more with the battleship force over here, then have it retreat from the area. Let's see. We're at 236 there in terms of supply. So we really are coming down to crunch time as far as it goes in terms of actual man there. If I use a bombardment, it would be nice to gauge how strong his forces are, but I think it's one of those where we can imagine they're not going to be tremendously diminished. So I think one more bombardment, then we'll probably have them pull back. No, remain on station, sorry. So one more bombardment, then we'll have them return. Could have them set to Bibaldwar, home base. At least by moving here and then back here, they can move into safety. Then we'll have them pull out. So I've got the G4s over here. So the G4s are running the naval attack there. Now, the worry is, if there's indeed potentially carriers down here, we do need to be very mindful of that. Let's see. So I'm going to get rid of these guys by the 10th of March, okay? It might be better off using these guys as naval search. Well, we'll find out soon enough. I don't want to. I don't want to expose them to any potential damage. I don't think they'll have the coastal guns, but we'll find out soon enough. We actually move additional forces in there, really. Though saying that, I don't think we need that. I think it's probably just supply. So it might just fly supply in, to be honest. So I don't know if we'll even need to move in any additional troops. We've got about... There's about 100 AV there. It's just supply, really. I think fly some in, really, but quite... I think that'd probably be fairly effective there. I did move some Jakes over to the area here at Kandari. But essentially, this area is in desperate need, absolutely desperate need of aviation. Balapapan's got some aviation over there, but we need desperately more. There is aviation support being sent out from the home islands, but we need more. As soon as possible, really. Let's see. I've got an AV over here. I might have that brought around into this area over here to make use of. But no, I know you're saying that, I know. It's not a bad idea either. It may be very well that we bring the Oscars or the 59th Sentai over to this area. I think what I am going to do then is have these guys set to... What are we looking at here in terms of actual aviation support? So we're at 71, we require 87. We've got patrol boat. Sorry, we've got torpedo planes over here actually, acting as patrols. See, the issue is, I would like to get the air headquarters out of Kopang. Really, I think it probably would be better off at Kandari. It does worry me if we'll be able to manage that. Right, so the 5th Air Division is 20. Excuse me. He's 1620 cargo, 864 troop. What we may do then is, if we take a look here, so they can manage 4. Okay, not tremendous amounts. We can manage the troop load, no issue. It's just obviously that cargo load. That's the problem there. Now, perhaps we might be able to. I could use some of the ships, really. I think it might be worthwhile to get them out of there. And what do you guys think? Is it worthwhile to remain at Kopang? I just think it's nice, but I don't think it suits our purposes right now. If there's indeed carriers coming, they may, I don't know, whether they come from this area over here. We may not even have time to actually get them out, so it's a question of just trying to get assets in there. Yeah, it remains a viable option as well. It doesn't cost us anything, it's just an issue of just capability. But it may very well be that they are on their way. We do have 8k supply, so we can make use of the base. It's just, it's not what I would have hoped for, really, I guess. Anyhow, we'll have these guys set out here. How you doing there, Rakar? No carriers have died in the THG campaign. None in the other campaign yet either. Right, we'll get these troops loaded back up. Let's have the load. Get that supply in there to Maxar. Additional supply moving in there. In fact, I considered having them... Well, yeah, no, I think we'll get them moving sooner rather than later. Right, so over here we do have the light cruisers. Yeah, I know, right? Right, okay. Once I can actually get the supply into Maxar, then we're in a much better position. Right. We know there's the 4 Chinese corps over this way. Okay. I had only 2 battleships and one of them was moving 2 years. Half dead. Yeah, that's funny, that. Oh dear. You see, that's the thing, is like, once you actually get into range, well, once you can actually get in there to actually hit the CVs with, well, with your BBs, then you're not too bad, you can do a lot of damage. It's a fun game, really. It's funny how the mechanics of actual engagements work. Right, okay, so as far as I can see then, he is continuing to move over here to Xiaoyang. Sort of towards, yeah, indeed, towards Xiaoyang. Right, so we should arrive at Xiaoyang most likely next turn. So that would be good there. There we go, the reconnaissance regiment is across, which is what we want. Right, so we are across here. Right, okay. Now we will potentially be there. Now the question comes down to, if we move in movement mode, it's hard to say. So I think the actual thing here to bear in mind then is to set them to combat mode. So I'm going to have everybody set to combat mode, just to make sure nobody's missed out. Right, so they're all going to move in combat mode. It's one of those of, he may not be here in Shangtan next turn, but I don't want to take the risk moving across a river against a large force. So we'll move in combat mode. Now the good news is we are across over here, so at least we have that going for us. It does also inhibit him, really, because he now truly is cut off. Because obviously we control this hex over here, we control this road as well, for the most part. Well, not entirely, but we control it up to this point over here. And now that we have our position here as well, he can't retreat this way. We will have more forces moving across here as well shortly. But what I'm going to do then is have them go into combat mode for the time being. It'd be nice to move them up. Well, then again, there's only one... I don't know, what do you guys reckon, man? That's only one unit there. I should not cancel that now. I generally wish I'd not cancelled that. And what do you guys reckon, Ben? I wish I'd not cancelled that, but, yeah. Oh well. I think we do move that. So if we take a look at the distance, it's a major road. So I think we move in movement mode. I suppose we could do. Oh, I hate doing that. I'll leave it as is. It gives time for the infantry to move across, then. It's more than likely. It looks like a base force of some nature, really. Almost like a base force of some nature. Right, so they're marching towards Changte. Right, they remain in position. Right, there we go. No. It's one of those. Had it been a smaller unit, then it would have been nice. So, I suppose it's not too bad, then. The infantry will cross the river next turn, which will be great, because that will truly set this down. It's going to take us more than a day to get here anyhow. Not just saying that. I think what we'll do then is we can move it into the actual Hexachang Day. It should potentially arrive tomorrow. As it moves 60 on the major road. So it'll arrive here tomorrow then. I think it's worthwhile. He may potentially attack it. Saying that, let's see. So he's still in these secondary roads. I don't know what his progress is. He's still got these roads over here. We're going to be forcing him to move in combat mode. These guys are going to be here tomorrow. It'll take them 2 days to get here. I think what we'll do then is we'll remain in position here then for the time being. Allow the infantry to cross over. It's a tough one because we could potentially... I don't know, it's clear terrain. Oh no, it's wooded terrain. Okay. See, I could move there into the actual city, but I don't think it's going to make a difference. Had it been clear, we might have had maybe a chance, a very remote chance. Probably not much of a chance, really. But would it be in wooded, it's not great. These forces are likely to escape, but it's not a large force anyhow. But if these infantry can get here, I imagine we could probably get the infantry here before he can get here, really. He's still the secondary. He might have been in this position now, what, 2 days, maybe 3 days. I can't recall exactly how long he's been here. Right, what I'm going to do is, let's see. I want to transfer zeros out from China. I think we need these guys in the Dutch East Indies. Okay, so they're hitting Shangtan. No, saying that doesn't look like he's moving anyhow. So I think we'll continue to bomb this force then if we can. Alright, they're coming into Shangtan. Okay. So 55th will arrive in Hengyang tomorrow. The additional armor's on its way as well. So that's moving towards Hengyang. What I'm going to do here then is quickly save it. Save it as that one there. Was this 75? 76? What? I think it's 76? I think it's 76. So I'll save it there. I really don't think it's going to take as long. What do you guys reckon? Is anything pressing that you think that we should get going here? Because I don't think there's terribly much to really take us all that long, really. We send in the carriers to truck. I'm going to get Gunyo moving as well. But beyond that, I don't think there's much. What I'll do, actually, is I'll have them head... Actually, can't do that, can I? Never mind. Reload that. I hate how it does that. You can't just right-click off. Whoops. So we'll reload that one. Good question. So as it goes in this one, it's a real big hodgepodge. Okay, I'm going to restart production G3s. Would like some H6K4s as well. I'll turn that off shortly then. It's not a great R&D. I'm going to be quite honest here. It's not great. At least we're closing in towards the A6 and 8. Somewhat. Okay. I'll be a fan now on that one. Okay, they're moving into port there. Oh, I see. That's good. Gives them a little bit of time to recover that fatigue. In this game, hard to recall what the original decisions were, to be honest. B6 there, D4 white. I'm going to say the D4 then. Have these fellas loaded back aboard. Decent bit of supply here, actually. A little bit of fuel as well, which is fantastic. Gives us something to work with there. Quite nice. Yeah, that refuels them quite nicely. That's good. Unfortunately, I can't dock there. What we can do here is actually split this up and have them move out. I'm not a fan of moving APs without proper support. Question is it time to head towards Tarakan? I'm going to say probably. So we'll have him set for Tarakan. I would like to get some reconnaissance beforehand, very to actually figure out what we're dealing with there. And there may be coastal guns as well to take into consideration. Right, it's too far. Shift them over to Balapapan. Alright, get them in there, get an idea of what we're dealing with, and then we'll go in. These guys aren't moving. They're going to be a pain in the arse, though. We'll recover that. It's going to take a significant amount of time, well, a significant amount of time to move there. What I can do here, then, is potentially use the DMSs to help shore up any defenses over that way. I do have an APD over here as well. Right. So what damage, though, of course. Something like that there, James. Something like that. Alright. I'll send you a link there if you can't find it. If somebody could actually send Brian a link to the game, that'd be much appreciated. It is on the Matrix store. I don't know, they might have changed the store around, but I'll take a look at it shortly then, if somebody doesn't send you a link and get you that. It's well worth it. It does go on sale every now and then. It's a shame, but it's past the sales now. I feel like I say that each year. And it's kind of funny, actually. I think I might have said that. It's been 2 years in a row now? 3? Is it 3 years now? Might be the 3rd year of playing the game now, actually. More or less. Well, streaming it somewhat semi-regularly. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, question is, do I need the additional support here with that force? I think I'm going to have this force actually sent down here to Maxar. The reason is to give us that potential cover there. I do want to actually get a force moving into Maxar, but I tell you what we can do here then is I can run this as a fast transport. How much can they carry? Not much. Not much is seriously the name of the game there. Okay. It's really very, very little. But I'm just going to pick up some supply while I am here. It's 240, so it's at least... It's a little, but we'll get it moving there. So we'll have Darker move out, and they can move down there. At least they are carrying a little bit of fuel there. Sorry, a little bit of supply there. Oh, such a bad game, isn't it? It's so much I wish I could do again. But here we are. Right, FT's over here. Right, they're currently unloading. Yeah, they're well worth it. I mean, Gary Grigsby's War of the East 2 will be out in the near future as well. That's going to be really awesome. Looking forward to doing that, while playing that one out. Okay. Right, disband them there. Right, Catapang. It's a swamp. Okay. Let's see. We're going to get the 38th over here as soon as possible. I'm very much toying with the idea of taking those Oscars from there. Very much toying with that idea. Right, okay, let's figure out where our ground-based squadrons are. So, Truk, Makassar, Tokyo as well, which is interesting. So they've just been upgraded, really, haven't they? Makassar, Hankal. Righto. What we can do then is, I think we can transfer it to 32 hexes, isn't it? $36, sorry. Okay. What I want to do then is get these zeros down to Dutch East Indies. That's 32 there. 35 does take me to Saigon. I'm going to have them transfer then, let's see. So we do need to be closer. So, 47 is obviously out of range. I could transfer to the base over here at Clark. So, see how far Clark puts us out. I'd like to reinforce the unit as well. Essentially, we need more fighters. We need new fighters, more of them. We need more aviation. So we need to seriously take this and wrap up the problem here. So, Clark to... Max Arvin, sorry. Get them the hell out of this hell that is China. I do have 20 in the pool, which is nice, and we need to make use of them. Right, so shift them to Clark, and then they can move out. Have them on 100% rest. Right, there we go. So we have reinforcements arriving over here. We're going to have the actual armor moving in as well. Now... Let's see. I don't think we need to fear about Henyang. So you're remaining in position, so at least there's some troops actually in the base there. Okay, moving you as well. Right, I'm just going to save it again. I think I'll try... I'm going to try with the actual infantry division. Sort of the infantry unit. Sometimes you can actually set them and they keep their progress. So I'll have them move that way to the north. Ideally use that. And then I can use it to leapfrog the armor there as well. Just save it there again as well. So that's 190. So remember that. How are you guys doing tonight as well? You guys having a good day? What have you been up to today? Day 1 of isolation in the UK, essentially. Not full isolation, but it's probably not far away. To be honest, it's probably gonna be, I mean, if Dadman gets back to me, it may very well be, like, back-to-back Warner Pacific, to be honest. I'm gonna become a machine. Okay, doesn't keep the progress. But that's fine. What I can tell then is set all units of march to the objective then at Xiaoyang, and they retain their progress, which is good. So they will be in Henyang tomorrow as our forces leave Henyang. It isn't likely that he's going to be moving on to Henyang. Let's take a look at Changsha. Changsha's complaining about supply. There's 31,000 tons of supply there. You can see that's definitely increased from what it was beforehand, which is brilliant news. So with the actual reconnaissance regiments over here as well, at least we have that hex now into our control, which is excellent. And this is the beauty. This is how fast and how quick, or just how much of a difference armor can make over here in the actual open and, well, in the clear and on main roads, really. Oh, right, okay, so you're searching Gary Grigsby. No, it makes sense, makes sense. It is the Gary Grigsby game, but yeah, of course, it's known by Warner Pacific, so that does make sense. Yeah, that's fine. I don't think there's much else. I mean, frankly, we have the Ki-43s over here. Let's see. So they're sweeping. Yeah, we're going to get to Yunyo shortly. Our first proper carry in a long-ass time. There's a good part of me that really does wonder, is it worth keeping the Oscars in China as well? I am genuinely quite worried that there may be carrier action in the south, whether it's in the Coral Sea, whether it's at the Dutch East Indies. The good news is we will have another Zero Squadron out that way. We'll have the other Oscars repaired shortly. I may take the Oscars from Singapore, to be honest. I think I may indeed do that. I could potentially have them transferred to Kandari to have them not overstress the actual airbase at Makassar. But I think we'll have a vote then. What do you guys reckon? Do we take the Oscars from Singapore? Well, from Johor Bahru and have them moved into the Dutch East Indies. I suppose in some way it's good, gives us a jump start as well. If he does move into the Coral Sea, at least I can move more Oscars then into that area, towards Gazmartin, etc. Yeah, I think that might be the way to go there. So escort over Shangtan. Okay, double sweep. Yeah, that's true as well. Right, so Yunyo is over here in Nagasaki. Jesu's not. I think I might have assumed she would arrive at Tokyo. Well, the thing is, I don't have to constantly fly. And he's got 43 and 46. That's a pretty big, hefty commitment there. I think we can manage with the Oscars. I would be tempted to move the Oscars out. But I think with that number there, we'll probably keep them there. But essentially, I could, for the most part, just stop using aircraft. He may use aircraft against us as well. That's the only issue there. Speaking of that, I think we do need to cover that eventuality. So I think what I'll do then is run a long-range combat patrol over here, actually. I think I'm going to use... I think I'm going to use more Oscars, actually. I think I'll use a Oscar... Maybe even 2 of them, perhaps. Maybe 3 of them. Well, what I'll do then, so what I'm going to do then is have them long-range combat, so long-range cap over Xiaoyang. I think I'm going to set a second one to do that as well. It does forego the sweep at Shangtan. Yeah, it's definitely been reinforced by something. That one's pretty easy to see, isn't it, at this point? You are right on that one. Which is somewhat worrisome, but in all honesty, if he's committing additional air assets to China, then that's probably better for us, really. They're not going to be elsewhere where they can actually be useful. And this is it. It's like I'm using the bombers over here, but as far as it goes, I think once we actually stop... I mean, this is it. I still think it's a ludicrous move over here. But then again, I suppose, had he not moved his forces to Shangtan, then... Well, he's going to obviously move them into Xiaoyang as well. But had he not moved his forces over here to Shangtan, Xiaoyang, then... There would have been really no stopping us moving north, to be honest. We would have been able to just outflank him. It's a terrible situation for him, really. Terribly, terribly fraught situation for him. And there's not much I can actually do about this. I'm just amazed that he gave Changsha. I think that was a really bad move there to give Changsha. But yeah, we'll go there. I'm going to have a long-range combat patrol over Xiaoyang. And what I don't want is, I don't want our forces to be bombed either. I might do that, but I think we'll arrive here either way. Yeah, we're going to arrive there no matter what, really. Especially with it being major roads. So yeah, we'll long-range combat air patrol over Xiaoyang. Saying that, that's not going to do me any good, is it? No, there's no point doing that. So scratch that. I'll take a look at them shortly. I think I'll run a cap over Henyang. These guys can sweep Shangtan still. These guys are escorting over Henyang. Escorting over Xiaoyang. No. We'll make that a sweep over Shangtan then. Okay, I think that's sufficient there for China. So he has a 1 unit over here in Nanning, which is intriguing. I don't know how strong it is. It would be nice to find out. Ah, see, I do have this second squadron over here. And the good news is we have pulled out a Tuyen. Now, he does have detection over there, which is intriguing. The question's going to be, is he actually going to move in there immediately? And he probably will do if he thinks there's no troops there. He'll probably move in immediately. So that's it's gonna open up this area. So he may pull these troops out. He will have an opportunity to do that. But even that's going to take a few days. I think if anything, it could create potentially a situation where this area is left as a vacuum. It's an interesting one, really. Right, so 38th is in position here. 38th is going to move south to Canton. Going to get them shifted out to Malaya. Okay, these fellas are going to stay here. 65 is already moving to... Yep, okay. Wrong unit. 23rd, which is China, isn't it? Yep, China. China! They're moving to Canton. Yeah, they're making progress to Canton. Yeah, I don't think we need the 38th over here. I think we have sufficient force with the actual units there. That's fine. Additional forces moving over here. He doesn't really move much of these units anymore, unfortunately. Okay, we'll have these guys set to bombard again. Right, have them do that. Second raiding regiment's going to remain in its position there. They're still okay on supply. I could probably get some more in there. So what I'm going to do here then is take the transports, stand them all down, let them recover that fatigue. Okay. Now, what I could do then is actually move these Oscars out. So what I could maybe do is potentially have them move to Johor Bahru to replace that. But I could actually, I think I might just have them shifted over to Clark, then get them shifted over into the Dutch East Indies. And I think that is what we're going to do. We essentially don't need to do anything else over here, so we're going to get them the hell out of here. They do need to recover that fatigue, but we're going to get them moving. Let's get them the hell out of Dodge. So we're going to get them moving to Clark. Have them then rest. I don't think I need anywhere near as much in China. I've been talking about this for some while now, but I think this is a good spur. I think it's extremely worrying that we don't know where his carriers are. He's seen our combined fleets over here. There's a good indication that there might be carriers heading either this way or this way, but there's definitely something fishy going on down here in the south. I mean, this is it. There's a good 50% chance he's in the Coral Sea or there's in the Indian Ocean, well, the IO area, as we'll call it. But either way, it's worrying, and it's not a situation that I want to be caught napping on, really. So I think we're trying to get the fighters that we can to the south, to the Dutch East Indies. And if in doubt, if there's any doubt as to whether the forces are required down there, then we'll find out. At the end of the day, we can actually make it work for us. We can actually have the Oscars used to actually suppress Sumatra as well. Yeah, we're pretty much getting there. You are right there, man. We're pretty much getting there. I'd need some additional forces over here, but I'd round up the division there. Frankly, I may have the 38th Division used against Palembang. Maybe used against Sumatra rather than Singapore. It may be that would go that way. The reason being trying to wrap that up as quickly as possible, to be honest. But I think, yeah, we go quick. Especially if there's potentially enemy carriers involved. We've got to go bloody out and blitz it, really, haven't we? Supply is moving into the area, which is superb, so I can actually get that across there now. He still has troops over here, so that's something to seriously take into consideration. So I've got a lot of bloody shite over here I need to get moving back, so we're going to get those tankers moving back towards Babaldoir. The Kumo and Kiso could be potentially, moved over there. I wouldn't have the capacity with all the like cruisers. I could move the actual troops, but I couldn't move all the like cargo elements of the air HQ. It probably is for the best to keep them there, but we do have a potential ability to pull them out and rearrange it if it becomes necessary. If it turns out as the Coral Sea, I'll probably rearrange it to suit us. Really. Right, we'll get these guys heading back. Right, get them heading back to the Babaldoir, get some additional fuel out there. I may even have them head out to Balapapan, to be honest. I mean, considering that we do have fuel being produced there, it's just a question of actually being able to get there safely. So what I may do is actually have them head to Balapapan, but have them head around the island of Celebes. Though saying that we might be able to move through here with relative safety. There's, of course, submarines in the way, but we'll see there. How does the play-by-email work? Well, the play-by-email works by... there's fuel at Balboa. I'll take a look at that in a second, actually. That's something to bear in mind. But essentially what happens is the Japanese player goes first, so they have the turn 0, really. If you're playing like 7th, which is what most people do. So then, obviously, the Japanese player inputs all his moves. He then sends a turnover. The Allied player inputs his moves. Then he sends his turn. Well, he sends a turn. Then we resolve the turn, and then we put our orders. Then the Allied. Then we resolve it. Then the Allied. Kind of like that. So I'll finish this turn up, save it, send it to him. He'll see the turn play out, and then he'll do his move, send it back to me. Then we'll see the turn play out. It's a nice little system. It works fairly effectively, I guess. Right, let's see. Right, what I want to do here then is get these assets actually moving out. The reason for this is I'm building up for the actual operations against Sumatra. If there's carriers coming, then we want to be prepared here. Now, I do have a little bit of fuel there. I'm going to replenish it to C, grab some fuel from elsewhere. Right, so we're going to move to Makassar. What I could do is actually, let's see, we've got 4-3 there. We're going to be picking up more. So what I could do is make this a fast transport, perhaps. Or I could make this an amphibious. We could actually pick up some supply. I think I'd make an amphibious. We'd take some supply over there to Makassar. We'd have a pretty damn heavy, escort. So we've got some tow-hos over here. Yeah. Right, that'd be a lot of supply, to be honest. Maybe about that. It's not like we're going to be carrying that much in anyhow, to be honest. What I'll do then is actually... Whoops. There's Aiden's there. Okay. Right, these are more what I'm looking towards. The reason is I don't want to shift too much out of the actual port here. Right, that is sufficient for the requirements there. Have that load supplies. It's going to take near enough the full capacity here, but I want to get the supplies moving into Makassar. We do have about 9,000 odd tons of supplies moving towards Kendari as we speak. It's going to take a little bit of time to get there. I doubt they'll load up the entire thing, but we'll be able to replenish the supplies there. I want to get the supplies into Makassar, because then that's going to be where we're going to be pushing off from, really. So we need to get those moving. Get those tankers moving back, get them moving around there. I think I should be able to manage this. We are able to run Combat Air Patrol here. So that's not bad. Yeah, so we'll go with that then. Getting things really shifted. So they're going to take that base and then move on, which is what we want. They're going to be moving on next. I'm going to bombard over here once again. Still patrolling over here, but probably moving out of there shortly. We are moving our tankers back as well, so that's good. We've got additional tankers moving in there as well. We've got a cruiser force moving in down this way, kind of the 65th. I mean, let's take a look. We've got 3,000 troops there. I think what I'm going to do is forego Namla and actually have them head towards Makassar. I could actually use them to begin the invasion of Sumatra, to be honest. If I can get some fuel from Balapapan, then we can actually get stuff sorted. But I think we essentially get moving. We get moving on towards Sumatra. I think Namla is fine. What I could do is actually just fly some actual supply over from Namla or from elsewhere into Ambon itself. But that one's really on a back burner. He can't use that airfield. It's one of those of where we'd eventually win anyway because he'll starve. Or so I can resupply by the air. But that's what we'll do. We'll get these assets moving to where they need to bloody well be. Get additional aviation down here as well, so we'll go with that. Right, now over here we've got a lot of fast transports, which is quite interesting. So they're unloading. Okay. So you want to get fuel and oil moving out of here. So I've got additional aviation coins over there. There's base forces out that way. A koi as well. I'm going to go ahead and go and pick that koi up. Okay. So I could potentially try to demine Bataan or Singapore, but it's not worth it due to those guns of air. It might be worthwhile to actually have them head down this way as potential escorts as well. So I'll have them head for Balikpapan. I could have them head towards Tarakan actually. They could actually spawn that force that moves down that way. As we'll have them head out that way. It gives us some additional support there, really. I do need to find some tankers to move into that area. So what do we have here in terms of actual tankers? Right there, great. Those 4,000 ones are exactly what we need. I'm going to get tankers going now. I've got a 14 knotter there, which is good. Right, get that underway. Get that to Miri. Start getting some fuel back to the homeland. Well, oil probably... Yeah, we'll send oil back to the homeland. Oil or fuel. I'm leaning towards oil as we can obviously have that refined into fuel. And at least the fuel that I actually have down here I can make use of. But then again, the fuel that is there means that we have immediate access to it. So I think probably fuel would be the wise idea then, I guess. Just have the fuel head back. So at the end of the day we can actually make immediately use of our fuel, can't we? Helps with the local economy as well, I suppose. So yeah, I think we'll have the fuel head back. Either or, really. Fuel obviously has more immediate uses. Right, so we'll have them go ahead and meet that task force. But I could have it head towards Miri first, actually, so that's probably wiser. Have it head towards Miri. There we go. I guess I'm moving there. Right, so I need a escort for Yunyo. Alright, okay. Ah, right, we got them meeting her. Okay. Yeah, I thought we had something there. It's not much of an escort, is it, really? Hmm. I mean, that will have to do. What I'll do is I'll get some... Yeah, I was looking for them, actually. I thought they might have done, actually. I'll double check in a minute. What I'll do, though, is I'll fold in some PBs for the time being. DMS here as well, be nice. Let's get that moving as well. Yeah, I'll take a look at that in just a moment, actually. Let's fold in those things over there just to get something bloody random going for the time being. But we'll have it head down then towards the truck. Obviously, I'll have it link up with some destroyers. I'm really tempted to actually have... what do you guys reckon? Do we fold that into the escort force of the Yunyo? Is it worthwhile the effort of 3 cruisers to bombard one cow? It is and it isn't. Yeah, what do you reckon? No, I agree that they are doing something useful. I mean, it would be nice to, like, free up those divisions. But I'm just thinking, do we want to actually have them potentially south? It is actually... Yeah, it's one of those, isn't it? I think we can get an escort going. It might be... I could potentially change my mind in the future. I guess we'll keep them there for now. I mean, we'll have BBs moving back. Congo is not going to be too long over here at Hong Kong now. 43 days still. Let's get in there nonetheless. Right, so we've got these assets over here waiting on. What I could do with doing then is actually get additional transportation assets over here. Show active ships. There's actually a lot of APs, so no, that should be fine. So we'll get those assets to move the 38th and the additional artillery then. Alright, that'll load in. So we've got our AKs moving over here, so the Atlas Maru and the Shinobari Maru as well. I don't know about that, PTs. I mean, they're going to be shifted into Kagoshima now. I could take them out. Right, moving them there. Okay, yep, I keep flying with the bloody thing and then moving along. Actually, have I got any PBs I've got? I'll get the slower ones in there. There's no reason as to not, then, I guess. Oops. I've had to fold 239 in there. That gives it plenty of protection then. Let's see if I can have them head elsewhere then. Okay, we'll take a look at Yunyo. So we do have some A6 and 2 zeros there. Yeah, Yunyo 1. Pilots are pretty decent. Have them set to train. Fairly decent. There's some that aren't, of course. Plenty of those in reserve, actually. Is that the largest it gets? Only 6, wow. 18, 15. I can resize them in the future anyhow. What I'll do then is actually have these zeros fly while the carrier, you know. Yeah, she can fit across onto Yunyo, so we'll get them moving out there. Okay. So we need to resize the Shoho group there, but that gets them moving. We're taking the fuel down there. As to whether we keep the fuel here is another question, to be honest. I'm going to say no. I could expand them. I'd rather expand them toward the Akagi so I could really increase the size there, to be honest. Right. So I just reply to the message here. Give me 1 second. Okay, there we go. I think we take the Oilers back. Okay, so that would leave me about 10 ships over there, so I think I'll take these guys back. I did consider actually giving them the, well, giving them a bloody, see, I could potentially even use this fuel for down in the south, to be honest. There's a lot I can do with it, but I think I'm going to get them underway. Get them out of harm's way, to be honest. We're not moving that way, so we'll have them move back towards truck. A bit of a shame in terms of the fuel expenditure there, but, well, we did have a different plan originally. We saw what looked to be potentially battleships, and then it seems he got cold feet, so that was a big old shame there. Not much I can do about it. And where do you want to refuel KB if you want to go east? Well, I'm not going to have them head all the way up to truck. I'm just going to get them probably around this area. Either way, I'm going to get them moved from Canton Island, sorry, from Baker Island. As to whether we move down into this area, I'm going to say potentially so. I'll get them moving towards the Marsh Islands with a little bit of safety there. I don't want to have them on the front lines if I'm not bringing carriers down this way. Especially when there's ships over here as well, just in case. We don't know where the other carriers are, sorry. Now, besides this port there, size 1, I might be able to get in there and actually strike. Maybe worth the risk. Alright, you're flying that, keep you doing that. Looks like he's heading out to Wallace Island, or is he heading back from Wallace Island? It's hard to tell. I'm going to have this sub head over to survive just in case. Queenstown. Which is over here, actually. So it looks like it's moving a ground unit there. I don't think it's a port. Oh, no, there is a port. I mean, maybe he used... I don't know, maybe he's got carriers there? I don't know, it'd be kind of weird. But something's been there. There's carriers somewhere around Australia. Somewhere around there. It's a massive chunk of land, so it's an interesting one at that, really. Right, these subs are moving, which is good. They're patrolling this area. Right, you're heading south. Okay. I think essentially there's not really anything else to do. We've got the carriers heading south. We've got them heading south, which is what we want. Yeah. I don't think there's anything really left to do. What do you guys reckon, then? Is there anything else you can think of? Because I don't think there's really much on the stern that we have to do. I think we're more or less done, to be honest. I know it seems like a very quick stream, but sometimes there's streams where you just really don't have that much to do. I can show ship and air losses. Yeah, sure, I will do that, my friend. So today, couple on our end. 0 there, unfortunately. Yeah, nothing listed there, but I imagine that that cargo ship. Speaking of that, actually. Yeah, it just seems really risky to do that. So it was nice that we actually weren't able to punish him for it. That was quite nice. Yeah, I think we'll go for that. Yeah, we're going to get them underway. The Philippines in this campaign has really been a bit of a mess. But as soon as we take a guy in, we are pushing like a guy in. I'm trying to build up enough force to take a guy in now. I don't think it's too long from the end there. And then we'll use these forces over here to finish taking the islands in the Philippines as quickly as entirely possible. Just quickly as possible, really. Frankly, you've got to pull the stop out and finish this off. Pull off the band-aid, pull off the plaster, get it done. Getting these assets moving around here. Getting this all sorted. Getting her done. How far away are the Port Moresby troops? Yeah, that's a good point, actually, checking on that one. Nearly forgot about that. I mean, it's a... Yeah, so he's got potentially more supply in there, which is a bit of a pain in the arse, but there's not much I can do about that. Subs seem to be inept there. So, we're 35, we're closing in. They've got about 45 in the way of planning, so they have built up a good deal of planning there, which is very nice. We do have engineers heading down to the south, which is superb. Yep, base forces heading down that way towards Rabaul. Let's see, Rabaul is understocked in sort of aviation, so I'm going to get that set up first. Rabaul is... C. Rabaul's 4 hexes from Gazmata. This has a range of 5, so we'll get Rabaul sorted first, get it moving. Got some fuel moving down that way, that's good. There's a light cruiser there, Kashai, and a odd patrol boat for some odd reason. Don't know why it's there. Gonna have it move over there to Ponape. Actually, escort those AVs back. Seems a bit of a way, slowing it down like that. Okay, fast transport speed run there. I do have another air division, which I am moving south as quickly as possible, really. We'll get this sorted. We're going to reinforce our positions around New Caledonia, etc. Speaking of, we have arrived over here at Comac. So they're finishing off there, which is great. I'm going to have them actually then shift over there to Luganville. Go back, well, finish up, and pick up the rest of the base force there, really. Yeah, we've got the base force here. That brings up the aviation support quite nicely. They can obviously help out to expand the airfield here as well. There's a lot of units over here. Let's see. It's major roads here, which is great. So I'm going to get this unit moving down to Numa. I mean, what I'm going to be looking towards doing is actually moving the air flotilla out and probably towards Tanna. See if Tanna on F8. I think it's the F8 that we'll be looking at. Yeah, no, F8. F8, F8, how we pronounce it. Yeah, we'll go for that then. These guys are going to be moving back. They said it needs to be strengthened then. In any eventuality. Right now, I don't have any aviation support. Actually, no, saying that, I do have a little bit. And I'm not kidding when I say a little bit. Oh, it's just a fucking searchlights, isn't it? I forgot about that. F me. Okay, we've got these guys over here. Gonna get the rest of the base force. What? Okay. Okay. Right, I tell you what, I reckon we get the air flotilla moving down to Numea. Well, what I'm going to do in the near future is get the transport capacity down here. And what I'm trying to do right now is just get this area under wraps, really, in case there is potentially an attack down here. It is risky moving that group. Alright, obviously way over capacity there, but we'll get it moving down there. It's going to leave some elements of the 21st over here at Luganville, so we'll get that transported in the following days. So essentially we're going to be looking towards securing Numea as a proper base now. There's supplies on the island. There's 6-4 over that way, so we will need more supplies. There's 3-4 there as well, which is good. So essentially, yeah, we want to get this area set up. I do toy with the idea of having the actual air headquarters here. I think that'd be the best place, as it allows us to use Luganville within 4, Tanner as well, and that island's sadly just out of range. But yeah, we'll get those moving. Get the air HQ down here to Numea, get the flotilla, set that shit up at Numea, lock the area down. That would give us a great actual... Yeah, it would be really good to use against Fiji then. We might be able to manage that in the coming days. There is a wood if any moves into this area. We do have G3s and we do have Oscars over here, so at least we do have potential to fight back against... well, we can definitely take out light. Light raiders really could be taken. We do have a pretty decent number of Oscars as well here for this position. But if there's any carriers on the way, then yeah, that's not going to be enough. So they're running pretty hefty now. At least with more naval search, more aviation support over here will be looking better. And we'll get some fuel down to Luganville. Essentially what I want to do then is actually transfer the outpost from Luganville down here to Numea and solidify our control over the island. Once we have that, then I can actually look after Luganville pretty nicely. It becomes something of a logistics centre then in a way. So we'll get that going then. I think that's pretty much the last thing that we need to do here. It doesn't feel like it, but my god, it's been nearly 2 hours. It's crazy how fast time goes here. So if you guys have enjoyed this, please do let me know. It's much appreciated. I think I am good here. I think there's really not anything else to take into consideration for the most part. We've unfortunately been found out over here, and there's not much we can do about it. Yeah. It is what it is, I guess. Whole lot of nothing there, really, in the end. Whole lot of nothing. So I'd like to get some fuel and make some use of Midway in the near future for submarines, really. Hey there, Racer. Good to have you, my friend. I tell you what, I am going to take this. I'm going to take it. Yeah, no, it's sad. It's a shame it has revealed the combined fleet, but that might benefit us in a few ways, really. Somewhat unexpectedly, really. Unexpectedly. What I may do over here is actually potentially have the fighters over here at Kandari, or potentially other fighters over there at Kandari. We need to build up our air strength in this area. Essentially enough to take this area over. What do I have here then? So I've got the... So I've got 2 engineer units. We need to get them moving. A base force down there would be fantastic. I need more. I need so much more, so very, very quickly. It's unreal. I'm half tempted to actually take the risk of actually moving through the Java Sea. I don't think it's really got much in that way. Right. Tojos are in there. I'll have the Tojos run escort, I guess. Well, then, no. They can just continue as they are sweeping. I'm going to get the Oscars out. This is another squadron of Makassar. I think at the end of the day we need to get this going, really. It's overburdened, but we will get more here. But I mean, you take a look at that, we now have 85 fighters ready here, a few zeros there ready as well. About 2 squadrons of actual Oscars, so we can actually do something with that. We've got a 3rd squadron here as well. We're going to have a 0 squadron moving into the Celebes area as well. So if he comes to the Dutch East Indies, if he comes to the Banda Sea, he's going to come to regret that. We do have much to play with. It might be that we actually parry him in the Dutch East Indies. If he does, and this is it, he could come to the Dutch East Indies, so I want to have a potential response there. He could come to the Coral Sea, but we have a response to the carriers. So we need to have one or the other. And if carriers do not arrive in the Dutch East Indies and they potentially arrive in the Coral Sea, if indeed they move at all, who knows what he might do. But I want to have forces available. If they don't come to the Dutch East Indies, we'll use these aircraft and we will move against Java. And we will move against Sumatra. We will take control of Borneo. And we'll finish this area off and we'll finish the conquest of the Dutch East Indies and be done with it. Indeed. The Yunyo's moving out. That's what we want. Make sure they're linking up. Yep, they are. Well, I mean, this is it. If he does come to the Dutch East Indies, we do have the benefit of the interior lines. Well, we have the benefit of shorter interior lines there, which is really nice. I don't know. I think if he did come, I think I'd prefer to potentially just... Yeah, I don't know. It's one of those of, like, how quickly could carriers get over there. I think I would probably not... I think we'd probably be better off just going kind of mental in the Pacific, to be honest. Something of that nature. Then it will be time for some big plays in the South Pacific. Yeah, pretty much. Do you plan the strafe smaller boats? Do you plan to strafe smaller boats with your fighters like the Allies did? Well, yeah, I mean, that's it. It shows you how effective that is. The only issue is I don't think the Oscars can actually carry anything like that. No, I don't think they have access to anything like that. But it's something to bear in mind. We have plenty of naval bombers over here. It's just, frankly, about shutting down the airfield here. But I mean, it makes his 22 fighters look like jack. So, I think essentially what we'll do is once we have the fuel to run the drop tanks over to Surabaya, then we'll go ahead and begin bombing the airfield there. drive him out of the actual area. Once we actually have control of the skies over there, then we can actually move into the area. Really without any problems, to be honest. Yeah, we'll do that. Oh, assisted kilogram. So do they get that? Well, even assisted kilogram could be quite nice. Oh wow, 50 kilogram bombs. I fucking love it. That's cool. That's cool. That's worth bearing in mind anyway. We'll use what we can. Strafing has been shown to be quite effective and very interesting. So we'll just see how we can take it forward from there then. But we do have plenty of bombers. I think for the most part it's going to be to try and shut down the airfield here. And then progress from that really. I want to cover this area. But so there we go. I'm going to save it before we do finish off here. It'd be perfect now if Dadman got back to me with another turn, and I would move straight back onto Dadman. But I think THD will be quite happy, or he might be somewhat afraid that we finish the turn here. The plans for Burma is, frankly, it's not great. I do want to get bombers down there and aircraft down there to actually cover that area, but it's going to take some time, really. We do have something of pressing concern in the Dutch East Indies. If nothing comes of it, then we'll use it, and then we'll move what assets we can towards Rangoon. As far as it goes for Burma, we are looking pretty good in China. So the Burma road may not even matter that much, to be honest. In a strange roundabout way, to be honest. 7161, something like that. I think that's it. Right. We'll go with that, and I think we're pretty good there. And return. And I will name it... Red on white. Reference to the zeros that he would imagine racing down upon him, as well as the other torpedo bombers and dive bombers from the combined fleet had they actually found him. Oh well, that'll give him something to think about. He'll not bloody risk it again, will he? He'll not risk that again. There we go. Thank you so very much for that, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know why I sound so really energetic. It's because of you sweet people. If you guys enjoyed this, please do consider becoming a patron of mine. It's much appreciated. Thank you to all my patrons as well. You guys helped to make this entirely possible while we're in this time of doing jack all. Stay safe, everybody. Ayasumi Minasai, Jane, and Sayonara. Till next time, goodbye for now.